This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Hey, check.
Checking.
Mic check.
Checking.
Whoa, talking
Check
at the
it
same
out.
time. It's crazy.
Check it out.
Oh, it's crazy.
17th of January, 2021. My name is Corey Winfield.
Marney Winfield.
And this is the 217 Recovery Podcast. Start the show because I'm holding back tears and I'm tired of it. I watched football today a little bit, so I was finishing my classes. And I saw the last game Drew Brees is ever going to play.
Is that sad for you?
No, it was, though, because they showed Drew Brees on the sideline. He had his eyes were all watered up. And do you know who Drew Brees is?
Yeah.
The quarterback, Saints.
I mean, I don't watch it. Like, I don't keep up with his games all the time.
One of the old guys. He's a little older than us. And he's been playing forever, as they would say, for like 20 years. It's a long time.
He's put his time in.
Yeah. And to see him and the look in his face like, this is the last time I'm going to run back through the tunnel. You could tell it was just really choking him up. And then after Tom Brady beat his ass, he kind of... What?
Go ahead.
After Tom Brady beat his ass, they met at the middle of the field, and you could tell he was going to have like choke voice, so he didn't really want to say much to Tom there. I guess they're buddies off the field, and he's like, all right. And Tom's like, all right, man, I'll call you. We'll catch up. We'll keep in touch or something like that. He's like, I'll call you. Because you could tell he didn't want to embarrass Drew. And so Drew, he put his helmet back on. He started like running off, and then he realized, I can't go out like that. So he had to take his helmet off, and I think maybe it was his family he was like waving to and blowing kisses. And there was probably some fans up there too. There was a lot of people in their stadium, and he ran off.
I think that was a good exit for a career.
Yeah, he ended with a couple interceptions that cost him the game. But, other than that, it was pretty good. And, he had a kind of a rough year, was injured. Michael Thomas kept playing games of I'm injured. It really wasn't that great of a season for him, but I don't see him coming back.
Right.
Tom Brady is going to play another 5 years. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous how awesome that man is. But now he gets to go beat Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Tom Brady does, so.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know. Green Bay is pretty good, but they beat Green Bay pretty bad earlier this year, which probably makes Green Bay even more pissed off and wanting that rematch. So it could be bad next week for Tom Brady. So soak it up. Oh, wrap it up? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So some tears. It was sad, though. It really was. Mm-hmm. And I wonder, back in my drinking days, I probably would have already been passed out for that game.
Right.
I might have woken back up. But I wonder how many people who are in recovery, like in New Orleans, because the Saints they're out. Mm-hmm. I remember when I would take the Cubs. That was an easy excuse to drink. I'm watching the Cubs, I gotta drink. But I wonder if people would use that as an excuse. Like, say they have 2 years in sobriety, and they're like, yeah, this is our year. And maybe they had a big watching party, and then their friends leave, and they're just like so pissed and sad at the same time because that's their quarterback that they've known for 10 years or so. Maybe a little longer. Not sure how long he was in San Diego, but he's been the Saint forever. And he's gone now. That's the last time you're ever going to see him. Mm-hmm. Those kind of emotions, when Ryan Sandberg retired, it was just like, oh, like that's my boy.
But that would have been something that you would have relapsed over.
Oh, I wouldn't have. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like right now in my life, no.
Right.
But, somebody who's just kind of going through the motions, or I don't know. Like, I'm like all in with my recovery, so
Yeah.
I'm like foot to the floor with it, because I have to be, and I realize that. I can't half-ass it, and not that I'm saying that people half-ass it. I'm just saying I have to go to the extreme.
Yeah.
Of start a podcast, start a company. I have to do that for me to stay sober. So I chose to do that. But I mean, if somebody is just, I guess, normal person in recovery, I don't know if there's such a thing, but I just wonder if that would push people. I'm sure it's a stupid question, because I'm sure it has.
Right.
Or is right now. There's someone's like, F it, man. That was the last time. It was the last time. It was an easy excuse. Well, it was the last time I got to see Drew Brees play.
Yeah.
Good drink.
Well, I mean, I think that just needs to be said, that there doesn't have to be a Drew Brees retirement issue to make somebody relapse. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons why people,
Right.
And whether they're valid or not, that's who's to say, because it's a disease and whatever. But sometimes, I mean, there's times where we don't even know what happened. Everything be going great, or you relapse because everything is going great.
Mm-hmm.
That's super common. So you just have to be careful about that stuff. Be prepared.
So did you listen to yesterday's podcast?
I just listened to it from when I was doing work in the other room. I overheard, but I haven't actually listened to it.
Oh. Well, I got a cease and desist letter.
Uh-huh.
And I was keeping it from me because I wanted to read it to you here on the podcast. And it has to do with the podcast that Tony and I did yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I have it in my pocket. So
Okay.
I'm going to pull it out and read it to you. Okay. It sounds angrier than I think it really is.
Uh-huh.
King Kong, Chong Kong, Gang Gang. And that's all I could really make out. The rest is just gibberish, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's from China.
Mm-hmm.
And did you see that they tried to kill me with our ice cream?
I saw that you
coronavirus
posted,
and ice cream over there?
Yeah, I saw that. That was posted.
They're moving fast on this one.
Wow.
And look, I wasn't making fun of people. And it's people like, oh, Corey, no, you're making fun of Chinese people. I was not. How do you think a Chinese person does the American accent?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That's all I'm doing. I don't know Chinese, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not making fun. I was just saying, because we would talk about alcohol, and it was said that it was discovered in China.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like I was talking about how it's just two old men in the woods, and I'm like, and I sound like a pirate. So I don't know if I was making fun of like Southern people or pirates or Chinese, but I don't know. But now they're going to go ahead and poison their ice cream just to come after me because they know I can't say no to ice cream.
Oh, that was just a fluke that you found that news post.
Honey, their government's all about it. They're listening to our podcast.
Mm. Well, I think you did. Okay, maybe you weren't trying to make fun of Chinese people by trying desperately to imitate their language, because you can't. And I think when things start becoming offensive or taken that way is when that stereotypical piece is kind of, and you're very abrasively trying to imitate the Chinese language. Failed terribly.
No, I'm just
terribly failed. So I will apologize for him if that offended anyone of Oriental descent. But no, that's I mean, like I said, I haven't listened to it, but it was loud enough for me to hear your lame attempt from the other room.
I was just going to imitate them imitating us, but that's probably not a good idea. Well, thanks for the apology for me. I'm just having fun in recovery. Tony and I we were just running with some stuff, and
yeah, I know. That's why I sometimes just leave you guys alone in here, because I worry.
I can just see Anna going, "Oh, that's so inappropriate."
Yeah. Well, I mean, Your hearts are not being angry or mean. It's just
we're just having fun.
Mm-hmm. I know it's all lighthearted.
Yeah, I mean Kevin in St. Louis, I'm sure he thought it was funny. Not that I meant it to be funny. I don't know. It just stuff just comes out of my mouth sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm working on it.
Yeah.
See, here you go.
There you go.
I'm working on it. I really am working on it.
That's good.
Not perfect.
So you got some homework done today. That's good.
I got some homework done today. I got to listen to a little bit of church service.
That's good.
From Freshwater Church in Coloma. They stream their stuff and did that. But I'm really kind of concerned. And I don't know, Martin Luther King Day obviously is tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if my doctor's going to be open, but I really need to get in there. Like, there's something going on with my body.
Mm-hmm.
And it started kind of in my hand. I mean, I guess it started a while ago, and they're just so subtle that I just thought, I'm 42 now. I'm old.
And you're saying you have nerve issues.
And like my right hand and my palm over by my thumb, it's hard, and it hurts. Like if I were to like open my hand, it hurts. And I can barely touch my thumb to my little finger, which I think is weird. Left hand I can do it just fine. Right hand is hard. So I started Googling stuff, which not the best thing to do.
That can be more hurtful than helpful sometimes.
And then I went for a little walk yesterday. I mean, a little walk to the mailbox.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not like out by the road. Like we do have like a hot second to get there, but by the time I came home, like it felt like I was stepped on like railroad ties that were like sticking up, like just like something just like shoved up through the bottom of my feet. And I'm thinking, okay, palm of my hands, bottom of my feet.
Right.
I don't know. Something's just not
we
right.
definitely need to get in contact with your doctor.
And today I got out of bed, and my thigh, like I just lifted my leg up, and it was like, oh. And just when I just did that, a little motion, it hurts. Mm-hmm. And it hurts like hell. And like it's not going away. And it's like, it's not a muscle even. Like I don't even know what it is or where it's at, but it hurts.
You just need some medicine.
I don't know. I think I have lupus maybe. But it's definitely like there's some kind of nerve problem.
Right.
And they say that, I think it was, I want to say it was MS, but there was something that was bad that was on the list. Well, there was like 80 things, and I just went for the worst ones, but that sucked, man.
It sucks not knowing is what sucks. So,
but like, would my doctor even know?
I mean,
they just go, well, you're going to have to go to the hospital and get some tests.
Yeah, but that's the same thing they would say to you if you actually physically were there. I mean, what could they find out that if, from you actually going into an office that you wouldn't be able to do during a telehealth?
Yeah, maybe I'll just do it with a phone, video conference.
Yeah, I mean, then they will send you to do extra tests, and they'll know what questions to ask in terms of symptoms and then kind of narrow it down. So, but yeah, something's going on and needs to be addressed. So. That's good.
I don't know. It's to the point where I can't just let it go anymore. It's like,
right.
All right. And I hated going to the doctor before because I didn't want him to tell me not to drink anymore. And it's those things like that we put off that it's like going to the dentist. I put that off for like 10 years. That's not good, but I was always afraid of what they were going to say. And then I had a cavity in my front tooth. I was eating some chicken wings, and I was like trying to get the chicken wings out. I was like, what the hell? And like it broke off a little, and I was like, oh, it's so embarrassing. It's just a filling, like they can fix that no problem. But I was like walking around like it was the end of the world until my buddy Ron, was like, bro, you can get that fixed. It's not a big deal. I was like, what? For real? It's like, yeah. They're not gonna pull it out. And they're like, no, it's cavity, man. It happens all the time. It's like, oh, okay.
That's one of those things too. Is when I was drinking so much, and I didn't feel well. I mean, I just chalked it up to that. So there could have been stuff that was really wrong, and I had no idea what. I can put my finger on it because was this self-inflicted pain? Was this from who knows what? And yeah. So now these days it's nice to. It's actually nice. That's weird to say that, but it's nice to be in tune with. Like if you're not feeling 100%, and kind of recognize it and address it and deal with it. It's like refreshing.
Yeah, I guess. I just hope I don't have lupus.
I hope you don't have lupus either.
Well, something's clearly wrong, and it's like nerves, and I don't know.
Well, hopefully it's
means.
just something that something medicine that can help you.
Well, it makes me lose weight, and maybe that's why I've been gaining weight. Maybe it's not the ice cream.
Maybe not.
That means try again harder next time.
Oh, okay.
See? Yup. So I figured you'd like that.
Yeah.
That letter. And that I'm on record saying that I'm going to make an appointment. One appointment that I really do need to make that I haven't made in a while, and I'm not sure why. And I tell people to go see a therapist all the time. I
knew you were going to say your therapist.
And
I was thinking about that the other day.
I haven't talked to Susan in quite a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, I think you need to touch base.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't know why. I talk to you.
Is it because you feel like I'm your therapist? Is that what it is?
Not, you're my therapist, but I open up to you. And,
I know. We process things. That's, yeah.
And there's some things I don't tell you, but there's nothing that's
like what? I'm just kidding.
But
I'm kidding.
There's, at the moment, probably nothing, but there are times where it's just like, I'm not going to bother you with it, but I guess I haven't really had those moments in my life. And the last time I did, I went to a meeting. Mm-hmm. So, and that helped me process it. And, there's different people, George, Tony, I talk to, and, it's nice to use a bunch of different people. But yeah, Susan is somebody that I can just be like, hey, what's up? Mm-hmm. Finding a therapist that is right for you can take time.
Yes.
If you, for some reason, it doesn't matter what reason, you could just be like, I'm not feeling they're always wearing green shirts. Whatever. Mm-hmm. If you're not comfortable with them, it's just not going to work. And don't feel like you have to keep going back because you're going to hurt their feelings, or don't just say, nah, it wasn't working, I'm just done with it. Because it does work. They're not going to fix your life for you, but you can get a lot of stuff off your chest. And when you say stuff out loud and you start, going through some of your problems, you realize some of the problems aren't as big as you're making them. And other problems you can find obvious solutions to, just by expressing it to yourself. The other person, your therapist, whoever, doesn't have to come up with here's what you need to do, man. It doesn't have to be that way. You're just hearing it yourself out loud. And
90% of what therapists do is just listen and direct you in what it is that that they recognize that are things that you're bringing up that you need to talk about. And I think first off, let's get over the preconceived idea that only crazy people go to therapists, because that's not true at all. More healthy people go to therapists than people that are not.
Crazy people don't go to therapists.
Exactly. So, get that, just put that aside. That's not even something to talk about, because it's crazy for you to think that. They're healthy. They're there to help you. They're obviously in a helping profession. They're professionals. And the thing that I think is important to remember is they're a neutral party. They have, you're not going in there, with, a past with this person. And, they're used to hearing all kinds of things. It's their job to listen and to help you work through things. And if it feels amazing. There's sessions that I've had that are tough, because you do actually dig up stuff that, you need to work through, but they help you do that. So, yeah, it's a healthy thing. And I suggest everyone to be able to go see a therapist, counselor, whatever you want to call it. Whatever works for you. Mm-hmm. Talk to somebody.
For sure. Well, that's kind of all I got today. Don't look at me like that. What? You miss a day and you want to talk? Let's talk.
No, I'm good.
No.
Okay. Well, one thing that I did want to say is I got a nice, I got actually 2 nice phone calls today, but I I got one from the mother of a individual who's in recovery, and she's a big fan of 217 and very supportive of what we do.
Nice.
And she recognized from, a loving family member's perspective, what it is that, where it is that we actually, like, that we do help people. And even, it's just a little piece. We're just a tiny little piece. If you listen and something made sense on one day and you didn't pick up because of that day, that's great. Then we did our job. But it was nice to hear it, This lady doesn't know me, and, she doesn't owe me anything. But she just wanted to, say thank you for, what it is that we do on a daily basis. And it was really cool. It felt really good. So.
Nice. Does she listen to the podcast,
I think she has. And I do apologize. She told me her name, and I don't remember it. But it's Mrs. Dagner's her name, but I can't remember her first name. Shame on me. Anyway, so shout out to her.
Hey, what's up, baby?
Yeah.
No, I was in the other room when you took that call, and I was like, oh, good. And then I started thinking, because sometimes, I'm very honest on this podcast, and I'm very open with my recovery.
Sometimes too open.
I know, but I like to joke around too. Mm-hmm. And I like to have fun in recovery. And that's what I do. And if people meet me on the street or whatever, they'll be like, oh yeah, that's the same dude. I joke around at sometimes, like this Thursday we have a meeting with the church. I'm not going to be like, hey, chong, ching, chong, chong. I'm not going to be doing that, Mm-hmm. This is just, we're in the studio in our apartment. I'm in my boxers, I'm just chilling. I got the fireplace on the TV. Mm-hmm. It's kind of chill. I got the blue light going in the studio. Just having fun.
Yeah.
So don't think that, oh, Corey doesn't take things serious, because I do. And you can listen to other podcasts where I'm 100% serious, and sometimes we have those episodes, and sometimes we're just kind of joking around a little bit and kind of lighten the mood. We're not therapists. It's not what we do. We're not going to sit here and tell you exactly this and that and blah, 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 because we're just going through our day.
Yeah.
And as we come through or go through our day, things pop up. Mm-hmm. And one thing that we learned through our addiction is there's a lot of similarities. Even like people that are cross addicted have the same problems that we do sometimes. Mm-hmm. And so I figured, hey, if we can talk about it and let people know that it's okay to feel that way.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Then good.
Well, and the other thing too is, and I think about this a lot, is that, I think about being in recovery every day. I mean, I have to, that doesn't mean it's on in my forefront of my brain as I'm living and functioning, doing every single thing that I do. No, it's not. I'm mindful of the fact that, I don't have to drink today. And that's an awesome feeling. But there's 24 hours in a day, and I get to do a bunch of awesome stuff. Some of it I can relate to, being sober, and can reflect on that and talk about that on here. But some stuff is just stuff that I do that we want to talk about. Mm-hmm. And that's part of being in recovery, is talking about your life. And bottom line is, it's lots of the stuff that we talk about and joke about, and none of that would even exist if we weren't doing the things that we needed to do,
right,
to stay clean and sober today. So that in itself is reflecting on our sobriety.
Good way to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Really is. I forgot what I was going to say now. That was really good. I really like that. I really don't remember what I was going to say.
It's okay.
Dang, that's a first. I couldn't even make anything up.
Wow.
I know. No, I think it had to do with your mom. I don't know. It's really weird. Anyway.
Oh, that we are having dinner with her tomorrow?
Hey, Marty's mom. What's up? I mean, hi, mother-in-law.
Right?
Yeah.
She's your mom now, too.
Yeah, I don't remember what I was going to say, but it had to do something with... I don't know. just the recovery life that we live. It's pretty amazing. There's a guy that is trying to get help, and it frustrates me sometimes, even when people are trying to reach out for help. And, I say, well, here's the steps, this is what you need to do to get yourself into treatment. And they start taking them, and it gets to the point where they're actually calling treatment centers. And then the treatment center is like, oh, yeah, well, let's talk next week. We're closed for the weekend. Like, we don't do that. It's frustrating for me. As you could probably hear me, I just did all that in the microphone. But it's frustrating for me to see somebody who's like, oh, well, I'm ready to go. Because you know how important it is. If someone's ready to go, we got it. Let's get them there. Mm-hmm. So I just started thinking, man, I led him in the wrong direction. I should have told him about that place. I should have told him about this place, and should have told him maybe look in Grand Rapids. There's so many different places you can go. But then again, you start playing that game of, well, they don't want to pay for you to come here because then you're not Network 180 or you're Swimba or you're this or you're that. And that gets old too. But I guess, he's been approved to go wherever as long as it's in the state of Michigan. So
hopefully he finds his way.
Right. I don't know. It's not what I was going to talk about though, but I figured I would talk about that just for a second because that does frustrate me. But yeah, I don't know. Have a good day.
Yeah.
And a good night. Was it about the coffee? What was I going to talk about? No.
I don't know. He'll think of it.
Is it the coffee? Something that we were going
to... He'll think of it by Tuesday.
Yeah. Tune in on Tuesday. Or Wednesday.
Everyone enjoy your Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah. Remember what that's about. I was at Memphis. Well, that's where it was where he was shot. The hotel. I stood right out there.
Wow.
It was kind of weird. Because it's so out of place, but they're not going to tear it down.
Huh.
It's weird. It's like, man, really? He stayed in this piece of... But that was a long time ago. But it did look like it was a piece of crap. I wouldn't have stayed there.
All right, everybody.
All right. Well, you have a good one, and we'll talk later.
All right. See you on Tuesday. Good night.